Up until recently, our world continued to have this very warm light that had such a human quality to it. But things started to change in the 1950s when fluorescent lights, which are notable for their very cold, washed out glare, took over the warm-toned incandescent light bulbs because they were cheaper and more efficient. The shift from incandescent to fluorescent occurred because of financial reasons, specifically the 1973 oil crisis, which caused an energy shortage. This pushed lighting engineers to develop a fluorescent bulb that could be used in residential applications. By the mid-1980s, compact fluorescent bulbs came onto the market. By the 90s, those became widespread and overall replaced incandescent bulbs, the bulbs that were used from the 1900s to the 2000s. And what's important about this is that incandescent bulbs, although they are less efficient in their energy use, have a very specific aesthetic quality to them. They're a lot warmer and cozier in their look and really emphasize shadow and depth and human skin tone. On the other hand though, fluorescent lights emit a very harsh blue-green tone light that looks very clinical. And it's really interesting because in all depictions of dystopian societies, like in films, you'll notice a very similar thing, which is that the lighting is always cold and sterile and clinical, which is a reflection of the constant surveillance, emotional flatness, and spiritual deadness due to being cut off from God. Or even thinking about the associations of this kind of lighting with certain political regimes. For example, the communist USSR or North Korea, you associate a very gray, cold image in your mind, which evokes the surveillance and interrogation rooms that you imagine to be in those countries. But compare that to when you think of 1950s America. You think of idyllic, warm-toned hominess and coziness. And so it's no wonder that as our Western society has become increasingly valueless and therefore more dystopian, so too have our cityscapes and our surroundings become a lot more gray and flat.